Hello and welcome to Design Boss Dialogue, the podcast where bold and ambitious women in interior design come for real conversations to transform and take their businesses to new heights. I am your host, Lisa Marie El-Khadraoui, interior designer and business mentor, here to share my experiences and insights into running an interior design business, as well as empowering you to build the confident, profitable design business you've been dreaming of and truly deserve. In this space, we blend creativity with strategy to help you craft your success and thrive in the world of design. Every episode is packed with unfiltered, no BS conversations, daily inspiration, and actionable business tips to turn your passion into a thriving, cash-rich business. Together, we're redefining what it means to succeed in the interior design industry, one intentional, game-changing decision at a time. So get ready to step up, elevate, and create the design empire you've always envisioned. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Design Boss Dialogue, the interior design business podcast. I am your host, Lisa Marie El-Khadraoui, award-winning interior designer, business coach and mentor. And today we are diving into the importance of why you can have the most amazing interior design business strategy, but if you don't have the mindset to support it, you're not making moves in your business. And joining me is our resident mindset coach from Design Destiny, Doramy Fisher. This was pre-recorded and it was so insightful. The conversation was amazing. It was just too good to keep on our socials. We had to get it onto the podcast. Good evening.
Hello, you okay?
I'm good. The mindset lady has arrived. I love it. Welcome to tonight's chat. This evening we're going to be diving into the mindset behind Design Destiny. And I've just given a real quick brief introduction about the mentorship with you can have the most perfect interior design business, or business for that matter of fact, with a great strategy. You could have the best creative flair. But if you don't have the mindset to match, there's no alignment. How important is it to work on your mindset in your business, not only in the early years, but the scaling and growing as well?
I personally would say it's something that should be worked on every single day.
Yeah.
And there's different aspects to the mindset and there's different levels to it. So I would say in the early stages, as you and I both know, when you're launching business, your mindset is going to be in the infancy stage and you have to do certain exercises, certain work to get it to that level to start you off. And then as you grow and evolve and expand, so does the mindset. But then you do deeper work, a different level of mindset work. Yeah. And the ladies that we've worked with in the group have, honestly, the 6 months that we've worked together have come on leaps and bounds. But they've done so many different exercises and just, yeah, it's just been a total like 360-degree approach when it comes to mindset. So I can't rave about it enough. I really can't.
I love it. Do you know what was real pinnacle for me? Because obviously we've just come through cohort 1 and the girls kind of graduated on Sunday night with their final mindset call, and we had the final interior business call on last Friday. And what all of them have done really well, that have kind of really put the solid foundations and the work in. But receiving a message to say 6 months ago, I potentially would not have had the confidence to put my first 5-figure invoice into a client, for it to be signed on the dotted line with no quibble, and have my first 5-figure month. Like, I cannot tell you what that has done for me in my business. And when the proof is in the pudding. Yeah. When you go hand in hand with the strategy and the foundational work in your design business, and you support it with building a toolkit, it is so, so powerful.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that's important, what you just said, the toolkit, the tools, whatever you want to label it up as.
Yeah.
If you don't have that set of ingredients, or you don't have those resources or something to go to, then you will just stay stuck. Yeah. And the lady that, you know, who's had the 5-figure month, finances aside, it's everything that comes with it, the confidence level. She feels empowered. You know, she knows her own worth, she understands her value, and the finances will automatically come in. It's the inner work that actually shines through that then comes out into the outer work. So tools, tricks of the trade, tips, whatever you want to call it, and wrap it up as. It's always important to have a toolbox that you can refer back to, which almost becomes your Bible, I would say. I've got
it's like your mindset Bible of business, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think, again, as you evolve and you grow through business, you collate more together. So you might have certain podcasts that you go back to, you might have certain books that you lean back in towards, highlight certain chapters, and all of this is your business Bible, your life Bible, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, it's another form of mindset, just in a different structure. And it's so important to just keep referring back to it, because we have high days and we also have low days in business and in life, and we're all going to have a wobble, and it's how you just pass that off and get back on it again and not let it derail you for, longer than it needs to be.
Yeah. I think it's also really important to highlight that the women coming into the cohorts, they do have an element and start off with, a lack of business confidence, a lack of confidence in themselves. The overwhelm is so heightened, the self-doubt and the questioning. Am I doing it right? Is this right for me? I'm reinventing the pricing wheel. I'm not confident with my prices. The ghosting, the vicious cycles, all of that plays into the mindset so heavily.
Yeah.
And I just want you to talk through some of the techniques or some of the essences that you touch upon within the 6 months of working with these women to support them with their mindset, to help them. That is the cat growling in the background. I do apologise. She's angry with the dog under the table. To support them with unlocking these newfound levels of confidence.
Yeah, so I think you have to literally take a few steps back to start with, as we always do, before you can go forward. And I remember in the very first mindset call that we did, we looked at almost limiting beliefs to see where everyone is. So it was, what's your belief right now? What is the one thing that's holding you back? What is a pain point? For example, I think some of it was, I don't have the confidence to charge what I want to charge. Okay, that's a money mindset issue. Now, that when you start going deeper and digging into it, can be you have a scarcity of money, you have a fear of money, you might be having a self-sabotage, you might be having a comparison syndrome to somebody else, you're comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. So when you start looking at limiting beliefs and you actually start identifying it down and getting to the core of it, what I found super interesting was it wasn't actually that they thought, it was something else. And a lot of that comes from, it's confidence. I'm not actually fearing money because I know what I am actually worth, but I'm not confident to charge it. You've gone to university, you've done all the degrees, you've done all of the training, you're a professional, and you know what you can charge. But as we started digging and going through exercises, it wasn't always that at the root cause. Now, moving on from that, then once you start identifying it, you can then flip the script. And during those calls and the exercise that we went through is something that we call reprogramming. So as well as being a mindset coach, I do a lot of NLP work. So if you're not familiar with NLP, it's neuro-linguistic programming. And with that, there's loads of exercises that we provided to the ladies in the group. One was reprogramming, one was reframing the thought pattern, and all of this fed back into the initial block, barrier, whatever you want to label it up as. And then that starts a snowball effect, because then it starts to open up the wider mind to, okay, it's not actually that, it's this. So it's really interesting. Along the 6 months, we had a few breakthroughs, breakdowns, step back, step forward, side step, come back in line again. And then 6 months down the line, you come out the other end. But it's just so interesting, the different exercises that you can bring in depending on where that lady is in the journey. And everyone was at a slightly different time, but they all took a little piece from it, which is golden. So
I love that also having you fused within the mentorship can really support the women through that transformation, because obviously we have 40 years of collective experience within construction. It makes us sound so old, doesn't it?
Oh, that's why. Hence the lines.
Yeah, no lines. Within construction, interior design, business, business coaching and mentoring. So we come with an absolute fountain of knowledge. Yeah. But the fact that I can stand there and deliver the business design and the strategy, and you can support the women with all of the mindset work, is such a powerful thing to add to this real unique mentorship.
It is, because over the last few years myself, have been in groups, have been in mentorships, and I've never had anywhere that has offered this as an approach. You've either had one or the other. So you've ended up having to buy into 2 different programs, and you've had 2 different coaches, 2 different mentors, which can become a little bit sticky and a bit bitty because they're not joined together. Whereas you and I, obviously, it's a joined up approach, it's a collaboration. You've got the business element, like you say, the strategy, and then the mindset work, just it's just like the cherry on the top. But like you said right at the start, if you don't have your mindset in check, no amount of business coaching or mentoring is going to get you there if you haven't got this going on. So to have that, I think the ladies have really benefited from it, not blowing our own trumpets, but I will, because we are very good at what we do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of knowledge that we can bring. And I think if you are watching this and you're an interior designer or you're a woman in business and you're thinking, yeah, I need the business side, you equally need the mindset side, but you just don't realise.
Yeah.
And that is the other half of it that will actually propel you personally, professionally, all the way into your business. I can't stress it enough, honestly. It's so powerful.
I am such a massive believer of morning and evening mindset work.
Yes.
And this is something that obviously both me and you are very passionate about, and we do religiously in our routines.
Yeah.
And we kind of really support and fuel each other with this as well. But it's something that we also introduce and bring to the ladies of their new morning and evening routines. And we actually support them with our personal toolkit, affirmations that we listen to, audios that we listen to, evening scripts. And it was so interesting when I actually ran a masterclass a couple of weeks ago. Some women that have been in business for 6 years plus didn't really even hear of practicing affirmations or morning routine work. So even if you're not in your early years, it's still so important as a business owner, interior designer, within the design sector, that in order to scale, you have to elevate. And like you said, we start at the beginning with all of this, really exercising the muscle of mindset work and developing that yearn to want to cultivate a growth mindset. And then you almost reach a certain level where you go through an up-level process.
Yeah.
I want you to talk to women about the absolute magic, because me and you have these conversations all together, which I love, about what would our higher selves do? And we really support each other with our higher selves. In fact, our higher selves has done some pretty amazing stuff this week already.
Yeah.
But talk to the women about bridging the energetic gap to meet their higher self and how we also do that, because that is so powerful.
It is. And I think the morning ritual or routine and the evening ritual and routine is key here. The front of the day and the back end of the day, because that almost closes the bridge, as I would call it. Now, this is something that I personally have done the last couple of weeks and months. I've upped the ante. And it's bridged the gap for me a lot stronger than before. And it's little things like I've stuck to a religious routine of bedtime and wake up. And you might be watching this thinking, oh, well, I like a line on the weekend. I would challenge you to stick to the get up time 7 days a week. And I would challenge you to stick to the bedtime routine 7 days a week. Because once you start to do that, you're taking your time seriously. You're taking your health seriously, your sleep seriously. And the benefit that I personally have had, and I've seen other women as well in the group, is all of a sudden you've elevated yourself, but you've switched off when you need to, so you can then switch on when you need to. And that just has a ripple effect into work, into home life, etc. Now, yes, we talk about affirmations. Yes, we talk about meditation. You might do some kind of close down on a night time where you do some yoga, or you might end the day with some journaling and some thoughts. But in the morning, I would say now the mornings are getting lighter. Try and not to reach for the phone first thing in the morning. Just sit with your thoughts or go and get into the sunlight. Actually, wake yourself up as the day opens up, and you'll be so surprised how your focus just comes straight the way in, because you're not energy leaking anywhere else. And honestly, we have up leveled quite a lot this week. We're doing things that I'm sure we'll share in the next few weeks, but I think routine is absolute key, a structure, and also prioritizing yourself. I cannot stress that enough. As a personal trainer as well, nutrition, sleep, fitness, closing down the brain at night, and refreshing it is literally at the epicenter, because if you get burnout and you go down, everything goes down around you.
Yeah.
And that can cause sickness, illness, business issues, life issues. So if you're serious about being an entrepreneur, a business owner, you're wanting to elevate and expand and have growth, because let's be honest, we don't go into business for a year. We go into a business forever, or at least as long as we can hold it for. Then you must focus on yourself. And that gets to look like what it gets to look like. Yours is different to mine is different to yours, but it works. You know, the results speak for themselves. But you must prioritise your own needs, your own self-care, and be selfish.
Yeah.
Be selfish where you can. I know it's different for everybody if you've got families and kids, but you can carve out 10 minutes on an evening even, just for yourself.
Yeah.
And honestly, the effects that it will have after, is it 21 days, I think you mentioned
20,
the stat, or
like 28.
28 days. So if you do something and commit to it, it might be sooner, you know, it depends how you are, but if you commit to something for a certain amount of time, all of a sudden it becomes second nature, and then it becomes a non-negotiable, and it becomes a non-flex. And that's when you know you've got an up level.
And also, I think when you then, if you continue to practice those routines and that discipline, the day or two that you don't do them, you notice massively in how your day goes.
Yeah. And you almost feel out of sorts.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's like, oh, I've not done that today, and I feel like, oh, it's a little bit weird, a little bit off. And that's how you know then that you've got your new structure and routine in place. And it just, it's a non-negotiable that all of a sudden holds you accountable as well. And accountability, yes, it's amazing having us as coaches and mentors. We're there throughout the whole 6 months. But you know who is best to hold yourself accountable? You. Because that shows that you take yourself seriously.
Yeah.
And again,
I think
so important.
Okay, you are responsible for your next move.
Yes, 100%.
I think I said it somewhere in stories potentially, but I said it to a client today. You are responsible for your next move. No one is going to move the needle in your business apart from yourself. No one is going to be there standing over the bed in the morning going, mindset work, come on, chop chop, out of bed. You have to find a habitual discipline in order to reap the success.
Yes.
And once you find that discipline within your business, you become successful off the back of it. Now, something else that I really love doing, and we did with the ladies, and I won't go into too much of it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but the meeting of our higher selves, in the sense of what she looks like, who she is, and how we can support the women over the 6 months to bring them to her and to step into the shoes of that other woman.
Yeah.
Talk me through some of that, because I love this when we do this.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting.
I loved that session, I have to say. So
such a magical session, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So it's a guided meditation. Again, I won't ruin it because you've got to join Design Destiny if you want in on it. End of. But we did a guided meditation, and it was basically meeting your next version, meeting your higher self, what you look like. And the level of detail that we go into is, you know, even down to what your hairstyle looks like. You know, what colour lipstick have you got on?
Earrings,
yes,
clothes.
Level of detail. And when you start to really go in on that level of detail, you are again showing that you're serious about yourself. You're not just saying, oh, she's standing there with joggers on, or she's doing this, and you know, it's a very vague picture. You're actually saying, well, she looks like this, and she's holding herself like this, and she's got certain people in the room, and you know, her holidays are now looking like this. And when you channel that and you actually tap into it, which the women did, and we talked about a check and some money, and I'm pretty sure one or two of the women, well, I know this actually, all of them on the call wrote down a figure.
Yes.
So I'd be really intrigued, because I can guarantee some of them have hit it already within the 6 months. I'm intrigued to see or hear what that figure was. But it's basically to get you to visualize and step into that person, whether it be in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, but it's having that goal of what you want yourself to look like. So it's not just a fantasy, it's, you know, what do you want her to look like? What do you want Lisa to look like in 12 months? What do I want me to look like in 12 months? Because both of us are vastly different from 12 months ago. Even 6 months ago. And I said this to you yesterday. The up level is scary, but really, really good. And it's only by doing these exercises and getting intentional and being selfish and being focused and being driven that you're actually going to get there. But that is one magical session, which was my favourite to deliver.
I love it. And I also think supporting women with not only building that magnetic interior design brand that keeps clients coming back saying yes, 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 but then seeing them step into the confidence and the shoes of their higher self to be able to up level in their companies and pull in bigger amounts of money, bigger collaborations, and really step into their worth is so magical to watch over the 6 months. And also know that within the group, we're contactable. So I know, like, they can ask you questions whenever, they can type them in the group. You're there in their back pocket, really, to support every month. And likewise, I am. They get one-to-one email support 4 days a week. So that it's almost like having an interior designer and a mindset coach and an interior business mentor coach in their back pocket for 6 months. To completely flourish. It is such a unique opportunity to do that.
It is, because we are on tap almost, and I've said this before. So I've got my DMs that they can, you know, bob a question into. We've got the Facebook group. You know, we're always available if they've got questions, and they do contact one another. I will say this as well: the bond that they created between them during the 6 months, where they help each other. They've met up with each other, they've supported one another. And that for me is great to see when you bring a group of women together, that then they create their own relationship and their own friendship. And then they support one another. But on our side, the level of support, again, speaking from experience where I've been in other groups, I've not known this level of support before, where you get all of this in the background. And no question is a daft question at all. And it can get asked 100 times, doesn't bother me, because each time something new will come out. But if you're watching this and you've been thinking, you know, not just an interior design, but, you know, slightly different trade, I want that level of support, I'm after this, I'm after that, then this kind of group is going to give that to you. I can't, you know, the tools, the exercises, the modules, the videos, the monthly calls with me, the monthly calls with you, the tech support, the marketing, everything. It's just wrapped up in one big bundle.
And I suppose also, if women are watching this thinking, well, actually, because we've had a few women that have been like 4 or 5 years in, but really just wanted to come in to kind of fill in the knowledge gaps in their business. But get that mindset support, and that's okay as well. So if you need like a confidence boost in business and think, do you know what, I really do need to work on my mindset for 6 months, and I need to kind of fill in a couple of those gaps, then this is also perfect, because we've actually seen with some of the women, they've said, do you know what, I skipped those stages of X, Y, and Z in business, you know, the purpose, the mission, the strategies, the tactical plans, kind of magnetic brand, what I need to do to get that up and running. And I went straight into that.
Yeah.
But actually now I've gone and done all of that work, I'm actually more aligned, and I've had more work come in over the last 3 months than I have in the last 2 years, because my messaging and my output is different. My mindset matches my messaging. I am now aligned, and it's almost like the puzzle pieces are slowly fusing together, and the puzzle in the business is coming together, which is amazing.
Yeah. And that is true, because I think the ladies in the group, the tenure was all very different.
Yeah.
So you could have 0 to 6 months or 0 to 1, and then you might have had someone come in who was 10 years in, like you say, and who's just actually thinking, well, I've nailed the business side, but I know I'm worth more. You know, I want to bump my prices up, but I'm just a little bit unsure, or I've missed the mindset work, or I'm lacking a bit of confidence, or might have a bit of imposter syndrome or self-doubt. Someone might have left the industry, want to come back into it again after pregnancy, for example. So there's lots of different scenarios or situations that you might fall into, but ultimately it's not like a one size fits all. So take something from it, no matter what stage you're at in the business, where you are at. I know the ladies are all vastly different. You know, the call we did last week, someone mentioned about, well, I'm bumping my prices up for the 3rd time, not naming any names, and I love that. I applauded her. And then someone else was like, well, I'm still working on mine. Well, that's fine. That is fine. You're here. That's great. Because eventually you're going to be over here as well. So I think don't ever let that put you off thinking, I'm not going to be the most experienced in the group. You know, is it going to be too advanced for me? No. Any level can come in, because we all need the mindset work, and we all need the business support and the strategy.
I love that. So if we were to round it up, what would the one piece of advice you would give to women watching this that are on the fence or thinking of joining or feeling a little bit overwhelmed or stuck? What would you give that one piece of advice to them?
So I would say reference when it comes to where you are, how much is it costing you basically sitting still?
Yeah.
So, and I don't just mean financially, okay? I mean almost like a pain point. So what is it costing you right now to sit still in your business? Is it causing you a headache? Is it causing you a sleepless night? Is it causing you a pain in the neck? Are you getting turned off by your business? Are you actually looking and thinking, oh, I don't want to go into it? Because all of those can easily be overturned and worked through. And I want you to think about your why. Why did you go and study to be an interior designer? Why did you
career change?
Or a career change, Why did you want to do it? What is the burning why that you have right now that is the niggling feeling that you cannot shake from your gut, because your gut never lets you down?
Yeah.
So I would urge you to tune inwards, think about your why, and why are you not there? You know, that's your why, but why are you not there? Why are you not further forward? How long have you been sitting still for? Because without taking any action, you're never going to get there. And you have to do that yourself. You have to say, I'm going to gamble.
It's also like, you know, you could either spend 6 months moving the needle in your business, working on yourself and your business, or 6 months of stagnation and kind of vicious cycles and repeat. And you could look back in 6 months and think, you know, I have women look back for their 6 month journey and say, I wish I'd done it sooner.
Yes, famous words.
It's the famous words. And it's like, there's always that fear of jumping and leaping in. There's always that fear. We all get it. But actually, when you lean in and you start it, you get such a thirst for it, and you think, I'm on a roll here. I'm so excited. I can't wait to do more. And then you look back over the 6 months and you think, yes, this is it.
Yeah, it absolutely flies by. And 6 months is nothing. We're almost at the end of March. So if I said to you, if I questioned someone and said, what have you done for the first 3 months of the year? A lot of people would say, do you know what? Nothing. I haven't even joined the gym. I was going to join it in January. I still haven't done it. We're now nearly into April, Q2.
Yeah.
Time. will never come back again. You will always make more money. You will never get time back. And I always say this to my clients. And life is for living and taking risks. And if you're a business owner, it's all about risk taking. This is why we do it. This is why we're in business. We're not in it for the safety net.
Yeah.
We're in it to take risks. We're in it to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and having that growth and taking a bit of a gamble and injecting a bit of cash back into the business again. That's what you've earned it for. You cannot put it into anything better than yourself, because you are the product and the brand behind your business. So just, I would say, for anyone that is on the fence, get off the fence before you get a splinter in your bum. Take action.
I love that.
Reach out to Lisa or me if you've got any questions. And I will tell you now, the next 6 months, you will not regret one single day of it.
I love it. I cannot wait. We've already got 10 amazing women ready to start on the 1st of April. And over the next coming days, we're going to be opening up the Facebook group. We're going to be doing introductions. We're going to have an introductory Zoom. We're going to be launching the first Design Destiny module, the first mindset module as well, and pulling them women in. So you've only got really a handful of days to join, and there are only 5 exclusive spaces left. So if you feel that this is right for you, then come and join myself and Doramy on a journey, a transformative journey together for 6 months, where we're going to be holding your hands. We're going to be talking you through the foundational work of your interior design company, helping you build that magnetic brand and supporting you from all angles with your mindset and helping you step into the shoes of that powerful, badass woman that knows her worth, loves her confidence.
Can all be worthy women like me?
100%. We are all stepping into our worth, and we are all worthy women.
Yeah, love it.
I love it.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to be amazing. Doramy, thank you so much for joining me live and giving up your evening.
It's okay.
Do our self-care now.
Yes.
And we look forward to seeing you on the Destiny side for the next 6 months.
Can't wait. Love it.
Bye.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Design Boss Dialogue. If you love what you heard, then please share the podcast with your friends and any women that could do with a dose of empowerment just from me. I would love to hear your thoughts around today's podcast with your key takeaways and wins, because your feedback means everything to me. Also, don't forget to leave a review as well as hit that follow button so you never miss out on any inspiring conversations with me or any other trailblazing women I have on. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes, and remember, unleashing your inner design power and unlocking your true potential is only a click away. See you next time.